Okay. Can we hang out here?
No.
Come with you going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I will return back, give you time at the wall.
If you see a temple, a model of a temple or a tabernacle anywhere in Israel, and it's run by the religious orthodox, like this guy, there are all the time going to be changes, and you're not going to do it the same way it's written in the Bible, because then you're basically violating the law of the rabbis when you're building something that is not supposed to be built, and it's not in the Temple Mount, but you're still doing it. You have to do a little bit of changes not to violate the law of the rabbis, not the law of God. And this is a big difference between what's written in the Bible and what's people doing both in Judaism and Christianity. That's basically what we do in our company, focusing on the Bible and Jesus and not anything else. And then you enter to the temple. You have the holy room with the table of showbread, the menorah, the 7 branches menorah, and the altar of incense. This is where Zechariah, the father of John, received the good news that his wife will conceive. That happened in the holy room. The third section and the most important section, that's going to be the Holy of Holies. We had the Ark of the Covenant in Solomon's temple, but in the second temple period, in Jesus' time, the Herod's temple, we did not have the Ark of the Covenant, so the Holy of Holies is empty. On Monday and Thursday. So you're going to see today boys, 13 years old, bringing from those wooden ark, Torah scroll, the Law of Moses scroll, and read it over there. This is the day that they're wearing first the phylacteries. Yeah. It's a later tradition by Jews to put a prayer request because you cannot pray over them. You cannot read the Word of God, you cannot pray, you cannot blow the trumpet, you cannot celebrate the Bar Mitzvah with the prayer shawl. So all the religious things being done over here, but the Jew in the first century never came and put the prayer request. That's the first century street.
Okay.
Level of street.
Crazy.
Right over there.
And this was just as low.
Yeah, so that was way lower. And today we see the Jewish quarter or the city.
Yes, thank you.
Is this your first time for all of you?
I came to Jerusalem in 2012 and went to the Western Wall and Sepulchre, but I didn't know where else to go. I was by myself. First time for all of this.
Good.
Yeah. Awesome. Let me throw this outside.
So where would the Holy of Holies been?
Yeah, we're gonna go there.
We're gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna show you where it's done. So you come here and you wash yourself, your feet, your hands, your ears, your neck, and then if there is room in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, they will go in and pray. If not, they will have a carpet. You know, they have a carpet under their shoulders, the armpit, and they will roll it on the floor and pray towards Mecca and Medina. Oh, yeah, they're very popular. Where you don't pray there so much as here. Here they pray 5 times a day. And over there, maybe they go in, people go and visit and look, but they not necessarily pray over there. So in Islam, I was on a training day not long ago, and one of the IDF officers, he was the person who lectured to us, and they took Hamas terrorist organization member and they brought him to a room with many officers of IDF. And they asked him, what do you think will happen between us and you, the Jews and the Muslims? And this is what he answered him. He said one word, and then the sentence said, sabr. And sabr in Arabic, it's patient. And he said the Crusaders were here 200 years, and eventually we kicked them out. Look. So, first, biblically, we call this gate the Eastern Gate. Later, Josephus Flavius called this gate the Shushan Gate. Later, received the names Golden Gate or Mercy Gate. And the last people that sealed the gate, the first people that sealed the gate basically after Jesus' time, it was the Byzantines. At some point, the gate was reopened, and the last person that sealed the gate is Sultan Suleiman, the Magnificent, the Turkish Sultan. And how do you know that he did it? He left his trademark, building mark, on the gate. You see those circles? That's Sultan Suleiman trademark or building mark when he built something or sealed something. So he sealed the gate. There is a Roman pillar in the base of the gate, in the middle of the gate. And with that, we're going to see tomorrow from the Mount of Olives. So here is the beginning of the western wall and the southern wall, the corner of the southern western wall. You see the stairs leading people to another level of street. In between the ruins over there, you see a wall there and a wall over there. That's going to be one shop. And here is the first century street that leads you down to the Pool of Siloam, the pilgrimage road. You see the destruction in the middle of the street because when Titus pushed those big boulders that you see over there from top to bottom, it basically damaged the street, and that's why it blocked here. But from here all the way to the other side, this is the first century street. So Jesus and his disciples, they had to stand and walk on this street if they want to make their way up to the temple, if they want to enter through the western side.
Is the entrance up there?
Yeah. So here is the arch that I showed you in the picture where a person sits when the donkey is standing next to. This is where I show you the picture. The level of street during the Ottoman period and the British Mandate period until 1967 and on is way over there. If you come here 150 years ago, you're walking and you're going to find yourself standing right over there. So the arch came all the way down to those stones over here and then down to here. Go up and then up again, and you enter through the gate over there. Upwards in Hebrew, lebeit
hatki'ah, lehachriz, or lehavdil. To the house of the trumpet, to declare or to separate. To declare that Sabbath start, or and Sabbath's end, or a holy feast starts and a holy feast ends. So the high priest stood on a step over here and blew the trumpet and declared the holy feast of the Lord from that corner.
Is this replica?
This is a replica.
Okay.
Israel Museum. They walk through here, but if you want to go out to the temple, you're going to take these staircases to there. But this is the first century. This is a replica of the first century stone. All the boulders over there, the pile of boulders, also tells us about Jesus' prophecy that the temple will be destroyed. You come from this side. You're being immersed naked. Okay, not with clothes, not sprinkling. Being immersed, you come as a clean state, and then you wear your clothes, and then either you go in from here, or you go to the main entrance, which is the southern steps.
Really wide.
It's really wide gate, and like hundreds of people at the same time can go in. Clean status. Do you see another ritual bath over here? The ritual bath has to be filled with living water. Living water means rainwater that was led by aqueduct to the ritual bath. So there is another one, there is another ritual bath over there. This is the first century. You see there is a wide step and there is a short step, intentionally to slow down the pilgrimage. You're about to renew a relationship with the Lord, you're about to offer sacrifices, you're about to shed blood of an innocent animal. You will do it with reverence, with respect, but you're not going to rush up. You're going to slow down, and those stairs, the way they were designed, to slow down the pilgrimage before he's entering to the temple. Either from the two gates, which was blocked, and you see only a half of one gate, or from the three arches gate over there.
Those steps are gone?
So you see the southern steps. There is southern steps that are mainly reconstructed there.
Yeah.
But over here we see the original. So this is original, this is original. Where he stands, that's original first century steps. Even the red rock. So everything that you read over here points eventually to Jesus' death and resurrection. The Lamb of Passover, the first fruit, raised from the dead. And then Jesus told them, after he ascended from the Mount of Olives, on the 40th day, he said, wait for the promise of the Father. So what are you doing? From first fruit, from resurrection day, you count 7 weeks. 7 by 7 is 49. On the 50th day, you come and you offer the wheat bundle to the Lord. Let's read it. In verse 15, you shall count 7 full weeks from the next day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf bundle of the wave offering, you shall count 50. You shall count Pentecost. This is basically Acts chapter 2 and Leviticus 23. They connect, they complete one another. Okay, we're gonna go see the walls of Hezekiah, the Israeli tower, and then how it relates to the first temple period. Okay, here is the ruin of the Nia Church, together with the Holy Sepulchre. Excuse me. The Byzantine Christians built big church over here as well, and that's called the Nia Church. Neglecting the Temple Mount, building the Holy Sepulchre first. Second, build the Nia Church. This is what left from the church, basically. Both of them were very large churches. Entrance from the west towards the east. Tomorrow we're going to see tomorrow we're going to see the entrance to the Holy Sepulchre is from the south.
Why did they build here?
Church.
Why?
Because
Why here?
Because they thought this is Mount Zion, and this is where basically where the Lord was meeting with his disciples. I'm taking you to see the traditional upper room and Last Supper room.
Oh.
Traditionally, but then you can see things over there that reflects the time of the first century or Christianity, and things that basically contradict. Okay. The Arabic inscription, the circles on both sides, and the bullet holes is from the War of Independence, 1948. The Arab thought was that in 1 month the Arab forces will defeat the Jews, but the length of the War of Independence took 1 year and 3 months, so they were a really big mistake by the Arab leaders. And in 48 they were heavily shooting between the Jews and the Jordanian legions, and we had the most long conflict and hard conflict with the Jordanian legions, because the Jordanian legions and the Israeli troops were trained both at the same time by the British. And the British knew combat fighting very well, and that's why Jordan illegally occupied Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria for 19 years. Illegally. Because they were supposed to establish a country only on the east side of the Jordan River, but they invaded Israel and East Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria for 19 years. So they were here from 48 until 1967, when Jordan were defeated in the 6-Day War.
Two's good. Two's good.
We're going straight or we're going left? Here we go.
Jump in the line. Shake your body all the time. Okay. This is the rule of the Last Supper. Traditionally, doesn't look anything like first century, but still, this is what people are presenting here. Let's go to the other room and see.
Donde está el aposento donde he de comer la Pascua con mis discípulos. Entonces Él nos mostrará un gran aposento alto, ya dispuesto, ¿no?
I think this is the upper room where 120 people receive the Holy Spirit. What we read is because we have here some ruins or remains from the Byzantine period. For example, on the wall over there is peacocks. And peacocks in Christianity symbolizing the flesh of Christ that did not decay after 3 days in the tomb. That's one element. The other element that they put over here is the olive branches there, that symbolize Romans 11, that the church grafted in to the root, which is Israel. Tomorrow we're going to talk about it. And the things that basically contradict that this is a first century room, the ceiling and the arches that cross the ceiling from one side to another tells us for sure this is a room from the Crusaders period. And this is King's David tomb. This is what we're going to see right now, just to show you the religious aspect. The first kippot. No. You need to wear a yarmulke only if you want to. In order to see.
עם כל זה, נסניה לפושים, דובה לילוכה וניסוע.
This is We call it the Hill of the Corrupter, named after King Solomon, that corrupted the people here to idolatry. While he built the temple over there, the Bible said that around the city of Jerusalem, around the Temple Mount, he built high places to worship the goddess of the 1,000 wives that he had. We see the Mount of Olives, the tombs. Tomorrow I'm going to stand on the top, and then next to the tombs I will explain about Jewish burial as we did, and how it relates to Jesus' teaching about the resurrection and so forth. Taking place at least since 2009. It's about 14 years of excavations.
Wow.
For many years, people were searching for the fortress that was built during the Greek Hasmonean period. Everything above here was a parking lot. And eventually they discovered the Chakra, which is fortress in Greek, on the south side. And of course later on they finding remains from the Roman period, from the Muslim period. So it means what's important by that is the north side, all the time people thought was the most vulnerable and the place to attack the city. If the Maccabees building a fortress over here on the south, it means they want to protect the city from the south as well. The end of the Kidron Brook is at the Dead Sea. So when the Bible tells us in Ezekiel 47 that living word will run from Jerusalem down to the Dead Sea, we see that geographically it can happen very easy, because here is the Temple Mount. Water will run down from 800 or 24 feet height down to the lowest place on earth, which is 3,600 feet below sea level. So we can see it happening very easily. Ezekiel 47. We see the Russian Orthodox Church over there. Maria Magdalena, Russian Orthodox. Dominus Flevit, the round dome over there. Here is the three arches gate. Here is the half arch gate. Okay, went up to the upper city of Jerusalem in the 1st century. Jewish quarter. The Zacchaeus wall, the Israelite tower, the Caldo, Mount Zion, traditional upper room, and Last Supper, and then the city of David. The 3D film here, and then a little bit, very short on the ruins and something from the Bible, and then you're free. World, in Israel, people, basically many people, said that King David and King Solomon never ruled in Israel as kings. Even it's written in the Bible, the King David is the most important figure spiritually among Judaism and so forth. Why? Because we couldn't find anything archaeologically that dated to their time. There is 3 places in Israel, and one of them is the one we're looking at. It's claimed to be by archaeologists, Elad Mazar, a very famous archaeologist, that this is King David's palace. Together with the stone that was discovered in Tel Dan, in Zacchaeus stone. And you're going to do it with David, we will explain, but I'm going to want to do with you the biblical part over here, and then we can return. Especially 2 of them, but one of them is more relevant. We need to start at 8:15 to be at the Jaffa Gate at 8:15, and then take a cab to the top of the Mount of Olives, because the St. Anna Pool Church it's closed at 11:45, and I don't want you to miss it because you can see the Bethesda pools.